everyone, it's Suzette from Suzette's Craft Studio, and I had a friend that was getting rid of some old of these photo slides, and I thought, let me take them and see what I can do with them. So I've done a few things, and I thought, well, maybe others have this and want some ideas or inspiration. So hopefully today I can give you some of that inspiration. So usually what I've found is that there's two different sizes, right? They're all 2 by 2 square, but this one is a 1-inch square, and this one I think is a 1.5 by 1-inch square. For whatever reason, this size to pop out or open this up and pop this out seems to be easier than this 1 by 1 inch. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a different glue or the way that they put them together, but it does. So what I did on these, a lot of them, I'm going to make, like this particular one, I did not put something in the middle. I want to make it as a pocket or slide something in so it's more of a peekaboo that you can slide out. So I just popped this out, and the easiest way that I have found, because I didn't want to open it up, is I just took an X-Acto knife and cut this, and then it just easily, see how easy that is to pop that out. If you want to open it up on either side, but I'm going to show you on this one because it is easier, take what I have found is a butter knife, because it has a little bit of a rigid end, but it's not sharp. Do not use a sharp knife. You will cut yourself. But I just take, so there is, at the top here, this is where it's folded over. It was a ridge line, and then the rest of it's glued in. So I just make sure that that's always at the top. And then you just take a butter knife and kind of just, it's easy to tear it, you know, just ease that open. And there you go. And then, you know, again, this is if you want to. You could leave these in there. If you have a really cool picture, you could leave it in there and just decorate around the edges. The ones that are the 1.5 by 1 inch, the rectangle ones, have these cool ridged ends. This 1 inch does not. So that's why I cut them, because I just threw them away. There was nothing that I needed to use them for. All right, now once you do this, what I like to do is I wanted to keep that on the back so you could tell that it was an old slide. So I decorated the front. And really all that you have to do is, you know, pick whatever paper, and I used I have a lot of scrap papers and just strips. And so I just took them and started you know, using them up and just gluing them. I have a lot of different scrap paper. So you literally just glue. I use the Beacon fabric tack on everything. I don't switch out. It's just hard for me to remember to switch out. So I just use this on everything, and then I put it in one of those Sugar Bell containers, the frosting containers. It's easier to squeeze, and you have a little bit, the nozzle's smaller, so not as much comes out. I don't spread it around. Kind of, you want to eyeball maybe what area, if there's a particular pattern that you want. But you literally just put this down, and then give it a couple of seconds to let it kind of set. And then what I do, I just want to make sure that this is set before I start cutting really around the edges. Should have had another one prepared. Right, and if it's material and you want to let it hang over a little bit and give it a ruffled look, you can, but I'm choosing to cut it right strict around the edges. And then you do take your X-Acto knife and just cut this piece out. That's what I found to be the easiest. I don't, it doesn't bother me that you're going to be able to see this ledge when I cut it this way. But if that does, then you could cut more of an X and then wrap it over. But I want to be able to see that back. But if you were covering this up, then and you didn't want to have that ledge open, that's what I would recommend, is that you just kind of cut an X and then wrap those all over. That's not perfect. I'll probably, you know, go back and cut this up a little bit, just so from the front it looks a little bit better. There you go. And then now, right, you can either decorate it now and leave it, like, for example, these ones, I don't know what I want to put in here in the center yet. So I decorated the front. I left this open, and then when I get to it, I'll figure out what I want to put in. You could put in, I have this where they're like little specimens. It's one of the kits I bought. So I just cut this out. I aged it a little bit. It was a little bit too white. This one, after I saw it, I'm like, oh, that's a little bit too white for my preference. And then, you know, you're gonna glue it in. I wanted to show you another option. This is just a cardstock, a scrapbook paper that I've cut down because I happen to like that little butterfly. You could put that in here as well. If you have like white vellum paper or wrapping paper and put a sticker in here, you could do lots of different things. I have, let me show you some examples. Here I just put, oh here, let me show you this first. These are like little packs you can get off at Amazon that it's vellum paper, and there's all kinds of different designs, but I liked it because it's somewhat see-through. So on some of these, like on this one, that's a lady in there, right? And then I used that film strip, added some lace and some buttons. And then this one, I didn't want that to be see-through, so I just added it so you could see it on the back. And then these cute little, this is a button pack of cogwheels, and then just added again that little thin strip. And so there's lots of different options you can do, but basically, right, if you need to open it up a little bit more, you can, but I find it, you don't have to do too much more to glue it. I tend to glue it so I can see it on this side. Add your glue. And then I'm going to flip it this way so I can see where I'm centering it. And here's an opportunity before you glue it completely shut. Do you want something to stick out from it, like a little tab, or let me find here, where before I glued it shut, I added this little tab. But you could add a tab, put a hole in it to have something dangling down from it, have a saying, whatever you want. But for this one, I'm going to glue it all the way down. One thing I did forget to mention as well, if you want to age it, you're going to want to, you know, inside here and then the edges, you're going to want to do that before you put this in here, at least for this inside frame here. And then that's it. Basically, if you want to have different decorating, I usually have buttons and some leftover lace, some leftover, this is jean material, right? So I thought, oh, I'm using all paper, but how about material? So as you can see, this is the bottom of the jeans, the hem of the jeans. And I just added some lace and again, some of those little cogwheel buttons and some rhinestones. So there's lots of things you can do. I hope you got some inspiration, and feel free to give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks. Bye-bye.